Hey guys, this is Tyson with Grimm's Closet. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to open up one of my last two boxes that I still have for Edgar Rice Burroughs and the World of Legends, the Overpower card game set. Again, for your openings in the future, this is the Kickstarter one, but there's nothing on the package that tells you that it's a Kickstarter box. I know that there was some talk at some point about making this like reprints of it. I haven't seen anything on that in a while, but I just thought I would point that out in case anyone in the future is ever watching these Overpower packs get opened up. So let's go ahead and we will get back into this. I've been having a lot of fun on the online Discord League. So if you're not playing, go check out the Overpower website, and you can sign up and play. There's prize packs and there's some cool stuff in there. And it's pretty fun to just meet people across the country. So let's get into it. All right. Just a little caught there. Starting off with an Angry Mob and Van Helsing. We'll just kind of quickly go over all the arts. Our uncommon is we have Deja Thoris, a couple any characters, 5 any power, and a Korak alternative art with the Joe Kubert art right there. Here we go. I'll take a Sun Wukong every day. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. I feel like the same artist did all that. Yep. And just looks great. We have the Time Traveler. My favorite parts of these packs are actually the ones that are messed up when you get things that are not, supposed to go together. It just kind of makes things fun. So we have one of the Sherlock alternate cards. I think there's two. I haven't played Sherlock yet. My next one I'm going to be making is a strength deck and then an intellect. So here we have Anubis and the Mummy, a little Egyptian pack. We have Professor Moriarty. Have our first location here. We have Barsoom. We have the Korak and the King Arthur. And then we're already off to I'm going to call it Mythic because Ultra Rare is not fun to say. So it's a Mythic Sun Wukong. Alright, next pack we have a Headless Horseman, who I'm hearing he's a kind of a baller, so I haven't had a chance to play with him, and I haven't played against him. So, Zeus, we have our Teamwork, 7, any power, and any character with the Valkyrie Hilder, another Teamwork, and then we have the Robin Hood alternative art. There's a special one that has it's number 546 of 545, so it's a little bit of a kind of a hidden one there. So we have a Angry Mob Industrial Age, and then we have the Powerhouse. Recently there were some numbers released, and Joan of Arc is one of 2 characters who's won 2 tournaments this year. That's Joan of Arc, the other one is the Scarlet Witch from the old Overpower stuff. So that's pretty cool. I've been playing with Joan of Arc, and she always just gets killed before I can do anything with her. So haven't got to experience her too much yet. But here we have our Tarzan with the Joe Kubert art. All right, we have Captain Nemo. And Victory Harbin. So we are getting a lot of variety of characters in this pack. Or box so far. Not a lot of repeats, which is always nice. We have our any character, 3 Teamworks, 1 pack, guys. We have one of the Time Traveler alternate arts right there. I have not heard of anybody even playing the Time Traveler, so I want to make some deck. Eventually, I'm going to have decks with every single character is my goal. So here we have Invisible Man and Hercules. Like no repetition on anything yet, which is pretty. I think it's usually happens by now at least once. We have our Raw. We have our Round Table. We'll throw those on the floor. Teamworks, and guys, we did it. This is box 15 for me. This is my first This is my first mythic rare out of 15 boxes. This is my first mythic rare foil. Here's Lancelot. It looks really nice. We'll just bring the light over um, my drawing desk, but I'm very happy to finally have one of them and one of the cooler mythic arts. So that's pretty yay! It's about time. I feel I should have like 6 of these. But I don't know what the drop rates are, but I thought it was about 1 in 3 boxes, and that's not been my experience. So yay! Count of Monte Cristo, Sheriff of Nottingham, and then we have Joan of Arc, her special. Looks like I'm combining things a little. 2 teamworks. We have the 5 any power, and then we have a Merlin alternate art. I like this drawing, but I feel like it looks kind of pixelated, almost like pixel art with his hair. I don't know if that's just like a resolution thing, like it just got shrunk down too small. I don't know what would cause that. I think that's would be the reason. 3 Musketeers with one of the best arts off of the basic cards, and the Wicked Witch. No duplicate characters yet, so that's pretty cool. I see something shiny in the back. We have our Teamwork. Oh, we have our Van Helsing uncommon special. Another Teamwork. The 4 any power as a foil. We'll move that over here by Lancelot, and then we have the Wicked Witch. All right. We have Anubis, our first duplicate character, and we have John Carter. Lovely Jusco art. We have our Teamwork. We have 3 uncommon specials for John Carter, Angry Mob, Headless Horseman. And then we have one of the Victory Harbin alternative arts. This one, it feels thicker. The foil. I haven't seen a foil stack yet. Mr. Hyde, who haven't seen pop up yet. Tars Tarkus, it's not a foil stack. I am still just very excited. I finally got a mythic. Then we have the 2-2 on Baker Street and the Hercules, one of the 2 Hercules arts there. Sometimes he looks a little bit like Commodus. We have John Carter. Sorry, John Carter's kid, Carson Venus, Headless Horseman. We have a 5. We have a couple 3 Teamworks, and we have the other Tarzan rare. I think this is the most deepest I've gotten into a box without getting a foil stack. See how that ends up shaking out. So we have a Van Helsing repeat there. So I think we're going to start seeing a lot more repeats just because we're at least a third of the way through the box. We have our Sun Wukong, Cthulhu, Angry Mob Middle Ages for our specials. We have a 6, I can't count, any power, and the Joan of Arc, which I really like that art. I wish the rest of her cards looked like that character that we see there on the card. Alright, here we have Morgan Le Fay. Love her. Then we have our first foil stack. We have the Time Traveler. We'll just see the way that shines. The foils in this game are really pretty. I wish more cards had the foils though. It'd be kind of fun. Maybe like a foil pack or something. We'll put our foil stack right there. We have our King Arthur and Korak and Lancelot. Let's put those together. Another 2-2 on Baker Street and the Deja Thoris. This thing is a great location. I've had it used very well against me. I'm probably like a 500 player. I'm not great at the game, but it's very fun. So we have our Deja Thoris, then we have our Joan of Arc. Let's see something shiny. We have a Teamwork. We have our any character, Teamwork, and then we have an 8 any power, and a Billy the Kid. I think I have a few of those now, so I might be needing to reach out to Chris Rice over on the Facebook groups. For his quest for like 250 or 500. Professor Moriarty. We have the Three Musketeers. Teamwork. Any character, a little home base. Not seeing a lot of those. We have a Sherlock, and then we have a Tars Target. So pretty low on a lot of the foils so far, it feels. And I haven't seen, I think this is the only mythic I've seen so far. We have Poseidon. He is one who's on my to-do list. He's right at the very top for energy. I've only had a deck made so far with fighting and kind of a girl team with the Joan of Arc, which has been pretty fun. We have our 7, the Teamwork Moriarty, and then we have the rare Mina Harker. All right, we have our Carson of Venus and Ra. I think we've seen one Ra. We have our 6. We have our first Asclepion, Teamwork, Time Traveler, and then the other Victory Harbin right there. We have our Angry Mob Modern Age. I haven't seen that one yet. Carson of Venus. All right, and we have our Teamworks. Any character, Teamwork, and the Invisible Man. And John Carter of Mars. I liked that movie. I wish that it would have done a little bit better because it's just different than a lot of other kind of movies that you see. I think coming out just when it did was a little rough for it. Here we have our Event Horizon. We have our Teamworks and our Angry Mob Middle Ages. I think one thing with the Teamworks is I'm used to like a lot of the original set being really similar. Like I think they have those Joe Mad Team Teamwork cards, and they would all be like really similar colors. And so these colors are always so different. And I'm like, what am I looking at? We have Dracula, lovely character art right there. Our Mina Harker. We'll just go through those. I love looking at the art. I have a binder that I look through fairly frequently, actually. I'm just admiring a lot of the art. For Angry Mob, we have another Teamwork, and then we have our second, or I guess I've had 3 mythics. I forgot about that Sun Wukong who's been sitting there in front of my face the whole time since pack 1 or 2. That Zoro art it's sweet. All right, we have another Joan of Arc. And see, this is, like, I think she looks cool, but, yeah, hopefully the art direction in the future will be a little bit more consistent. Because a lot of the pieces are still really cool. They just look like different characters. Here we have our Jane Porter. I have her in one of my decks, and she does some work when you can actually get her going. So, Dracula, Zorro, and any home base, Tarzan, and the Mummy. That art is sweet. Man, I really wish we know what the story was that they had in mind, or there was some kind of a comic made. There's a guy in our community who makes a comic called, oh my goodness, I'll put it up here with a little link, but he just did a Kickstarter. He's the writer for it, and it's just a really cool kind of a cowboy themed comic. I've only started reading the first issue. I haven't gotten too deep into it yet. But there's people in the community who might be able to do that work. You should reach out. Professor Moriarty. I am back. Getting back in it. All right, we have Robin Hood. I think that's the first one we've seen show up with him. Wicked Witch. The second. Yeah, like there's just gotta be some story. Like, why is Robin Hood fighting vampires? I wanna know what that was. Wicked Witch. Then we have our any character. We have a Land That Time Forgot. I think this is quite a few locations that I usually see. We have a Teamwork, and then we have a Leonidas. Brave Leonidas and his 300 Spartans. We have Dracula again. We have another Jane Porter. We got some Billy the Kid. Teamwork. And then we have the other Morgan Le Fay right there. I think that's, by other, I was very similar color palette to Mina Harker, which was why I was saying other. Completely different. I haven't seen the other Morgan. We have our Deja Thorses. We're Sherlock. His kind of look like, I mean, I know it's not, but it almost looks acrylic, but it's definitely painted in like Photoshop or Procreate or something. I don't know what a lot of professionals are using these days. I know a lot of people are using Procreate. I still prefer like Photoshop for a lot of my painting. We have our Hercules, and then we have a Deja Thoris in Mythic. That's one of the ones that I would love in foil. Just love the John Carter characters. There's also Hercules. He's the Greek characters are my very favorites, though. So we have our King Arthur. So this is our blah 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 blah. This is our third foil stack because we have the Time Traveler and Jane Porter. So everything's complete. There hasn't been any weird packs yet, so that's kind of nice. In the sense that I want more weird packs. I remember getting a Zeus foil stack and it was missing the Thunderbolt, and it ended up from one I had opened previously where I just had this random Zeus foil Thunderbolt, and so I was like, cool. Thought I had an extra, but it's just completing that. We have our 6 Teamworks, and then we have a Anubis. Very cool. It's very similar to like the Mummy and kind of fun just seeing the color palettes right there. Hey, look, there's the Anubis stack. We have our Morgan Le Fay. Anubis is the first character I did any like deck building with, and then I never actually put the deck together, so need to finish doing that. Alrighty, getting right there towards the end, we have our Captain Nemo, and Zorro marks the sign of the Z. Tars, all that stack's getting a little high. We are going to just move that stack over. Stay. Good boy. Lots of Angry Mob. 5 mythics. That's the most I believe I've gotten in a box. And it's 4 uncommon specials. If I got another foil mythic, I'd be like, you know, some of that stuff, take a little bit of it back. We have our Time Traveler, Captain Nemo. Poseidon, I feel like I've been seeing that special pop up quite a bit today. We have our Van Mina with the Van Helsing. These packs are so much easier to open than some Spider-Man packs I opened a couple weeks ago. Is that right? We have another Mina. We have, this is one I don't see very much at all. I feel like that's like one of the, I don't know if all of them were printed the same. That's one that I definitely have far less of. Our first foil rare, actually, in the pack. In the box. Right, we have our King Arthur and Victory Harbin. I played against her, someone on the Discord, and man, she crushes. We have our second foil rare. So I just need to start saying maybe every single pack now is going to have a foil rare in it. So my big brain turned off my microphone. So I'm going to be, yeah. Captain Nemo with the Sheriff of Nottingham. Tar's Wicked Witch, any our home base, and the Dracula. We have our Dr. Watson and Leonidas. Wicked Witch, Morgan Le Fay. Oh, look at that. That like 3 packs in a row. I will take that. So this is easily my best box I've gotten. If this ended up with like a foil Zeus stack or something, that would be pretty bonkers. So we have our Count of Monte Cristo, Dracula, and we have our Teamwork, 3 any characters, and any characters. And then we have our King Arthur. So, yeah, I finally got a Lancelot, or a foil mythic. So I got 4 mythics, 1 foil mythic, and then we have got 3 foil stacks and 3 rares in foil. So not too shabby. I'll take that box. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you guys are still opening this, love to know what you think. If you're opening this in the future or in the far future, I'd love to know just do you guys like the game. Anyways, we will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day.